This is a podcast for the change makers, earth shakers, paradigm shifters, trailblazers, black sheep, self-healers, and generational pattern changers. For the heart-centered rebel who craves deep connection, transparent conversation, and real talk about transformation. These are conversations for renegades by renegades. And this is From the Heart of a Renegade.
Please be advised, this show may contain sensitive subjects and a lot of F-bombs.
All right, welcome back to From the Heart of a Renegade, which is a brand within our holding company, which is House of Renegades. Mm-hmm. And House of Renegades is the home of all of our unorthodox brands.
It's like our treasure box.
It is. And I envision that it becomes a portfolio of companies throughout our lifetime, all of which are different.
So different.
Very different.
And you know what? Today, let's talk about ROAR.
Let's talk about ROAR.
Yes.
Let's get it.
You know what? I'd love to hear the story. Okay, first, let's start first here. What is ROAR in its most simple terms? Like if you were to sum it up, what is ROAR?
So ROAR stands for Rogue Offer Automated Reach. And Rogue stands for, it's kind of like being a renegade. It's you are currently trapped inside the four walls of a treatment room and you know there's more inside of you than what you have been taught. You have bigger income goals, you have bigger impact goals that based on the indoctrination of your industry, you would have to go rogue in order to hit. And or like me, you're in a job or an office, or in my case, I was in a piece of heavy machinery and I knew I was meant for more and I had to go rogue from that. Mm-hmm. Offer is the thing that you bring forth into the world. And so this is the thing that you sell in order to serve humans, in order to receive compensation that allows you to literally earn a living from the thing that you know you're here to bring out into the world. Okay, so rogue offer. You have to have an offer in order to, your offer is literally the thing that allows you to make money. And if you ain't making money, then you just have a hobby and you're going to burn out. Okay. So in our case, or I'll say in your case, I'm going to use you as a case study right now.
Oh, okay.
Your rogue offer. So you were an acupuncturist.
Yeah.
You were stuck within the four walls of a treatment room. You knew that you were meant for more. And so you created an offer, which was to mentor practitioners to do what you did. And this allowed you to literally amplify not only your income, but also your impact.
Right.
Then we need the automated reach. And the automated reach is, how do we build systems in place so that we can reach humans through, this is also known as funnels, which are amazing, in order to get our message out there. So while you and I right now are sitting here recording this, boom, right now, we just got somebody just opted into our lead magnet. Boom, right now, I bet you another person just gave us their email. And this is happening while we are sitting here in an automated way that we don't have to think about. So systems are sexy. You build them once, they take care of you forever and ever and ever, while also serving your clients. And so that automated reach allows you to do that.
So these rogue offer automated reaches.
Yeah.
What did you see? Because you had me that you were watching all the time as a practitioner. What did you see that you were like, this cannot go on. This needs to change?
Well, there's two things. And I also want to mention that ROAR is also a resonance and a tone to the fact that you also had a bigger message inside of you that needed to come out.
That's the ROAR?
That's the ROAR.
Okay.
It's literally your ROAR. So when I see you facilitating your calls, last week you had 60. No. Oh my God, I did it. She did it live. You literally. No. I fucking did it.
She did the blah, blah, blah.
Okay, so just fucking side note, you guys, because we're basically teenage boys. Anytime that we see the number 69, we go 69.
I almost did it live on the call.
And you didn't.
I didn't, thank goodness.
Didn't. Okay. Anyways, so you were speaking to
that many people.
Yep. That's ridiculous. You were speaking to 69 people.
Yeah.
And when I see you in your zone of genius, which is in that flow, you have a roar inside you.
Right.
And I'm here to help it be heard. So at Roar Funnels, you have a roar inside you, and I'm here to help it be heard. Because a lot of us don't get it out because of we don't know how, we're scared. Talk about subconscious imprints. Whoa. Talk about not being seen. Whoa. Talk about being absolutely terrified to put yourself out there. Whoa. Talk about the fear of success. That's
Money.
a big one.
Yeah.
All of it, right? And so how do we find what that roar is, that bigger mission on your heart, and help you get it out into the world?
So you had mentioned that this is basically a systemization and a way of getting that roar out that's innately inside of whoever the practitioner, coach, whoever the person is that has this in them to get it out. And with that kind of a system, what would that help a person with? So here you are watching me deliver that call, but what did your system, which the whole thing was running on Roar, like what did you see that do for me?
Well, you and I were in Africa when you deployed the system.
Deployed.
You did. You deployed the system. So here you are, okay? You're an acupuncturist. And I will say Roar has different kind of levels and layers. So there's Roar Funnels, which is the actual platform and the all-in-one software that you can run every single aspect of your digital business from.
That's
So
pretty cool.
It's very cool.
Which,
So-
can I just plug it for a second?
Yeah.
That means I can text my clients, email my clients, phone my clients should I want to. I can also set up automated emails. I can set up automated reminders. I can send
You've got your intake forms, calendar, website,
invoicing. All of my charting is inside of there.
blog, you want to
Everything.
sell physical stuff, like
Courses.
everything.
Yeah.
It's basically everything you need aside from Zoom
Yeah.
to run an online company. Okay. So that's the Roar funnel side. That's a system and that's a software that you build your systems within. And so here you and I are in Africa and your system is automatically reaching people and registering them in to this 6-week offer that you're about to deliver.
Yes.
Hands off, you're in safari, tracking wild animals. You're on Table Mountain with me, one of the new 7 wonders of the world. You're driving down the most beautiful coastline we've ever seen in our lives. And while you're doing that, you have a system that is working for you to attract people into a 6-week offer that allowed you to earn more in 6 weeks than many practitioners would earn in a year.
It's pretty cool.
And so I remember back in the day, you and I believe we were on the way to go to a Gabor Mate conference. And I had said to you, what's your dream? Like, what's your goal amount of money that you want to make in a month?
What did I tell you?
Oh, no, I didn't even say in a month.
No,
I
you
said that
what's
you
your-
want to make.
What's your goal amount of money? Yeah.
And you said $70,000. And I said, a month? And you were
said,
like, a year? And so that to me is when you go rogue from what the industry has told you is possible or normal or standard or expected, you can create infinite possibilities because there's infinite possibility available. And so to me, what Roar has done for you and what knowing how to systemize and create, and again, you're an acupuncturist. You are not a tech expert. You're not like, bless you, but you don't know how to do a lot of those things. And yet you know.
I mean, I love my needles. I love my gua sha tools. I love my glass cups and I love my TDP lamps and all what other crystals I have. Those are like, that's my technology.
That's your technology.
Yeah.
But yet, even though you had a whole team that you could have delegated all of this to, you built all of this tech out for yourself.
I hid in my office in my little spaceship cave and I set everything up on specific timelines to deploy while we were gone.
Yep.
Knowing that I only needed to pay attention to it just in case anything went a little funny. But other than that, it could work on its own until we got back.
Yes.
And it worked extremely well.
Yes, it did. And so while we were there, you were like, oh, I just got I remember we were in the back of the car on the way to the airport. Your parents were driving us and you literally went, Oh, hey dad, I just got another sign up. Oh, hey dad, another person just signed up for my course. And you were just telling him, because I think your parents also are like, what do you guys do? Like, I think a lot of people are like, but what do you actually do?
Yeah, for sure.
But to answer your original question, that's what it's done. It's allowed you as an acupuncturist to completely scale your income and your impact in a way that makes no sense, and has allowed you to have total agency over your life. And I think that is one of the most exciting things of our time. The creator economy that we're in right now is one of the most exciting opportunities of our time. You have value you want to bring into the world, you put it out into the world, and people buy it. Mm-hmm. What?
I remember in 2020 sitting on the front step with you of our house. And this was when everybody was like housebound. You know, they couldn't go anywhere. They couldn't really travel. And we were sitting there, and you and I were both crying. And you said to me, I feel like I finally have my wife back. And that was because I couldn't be in the treatment room because I was ordered home. And that moment has really sat with me, because I recognized in that moment how much of my life I was missing because I was in this dark room serving these people. And it's not that I didn't want to serve people, but it really carried this weight of how much I was holding us back as a couple, how much we couldn't travel because I was booking out so far in advance. So it wasn't like I had any room in my schedule. I really had to plan very far ahead. And then you'd have to wait, hoping that I wouldn't just fill my schedule. And the reason I want to mention this is because it really opened up the opportunity to go, there has to be another way. And I don't know a lot of practitioners know that there is another way to utilize their skill sets beyond the treatment room that they were trained to be inside of. And so they think, maybe whoever's listening, maybe you are thinking in this moment, how the hell do I translate these skills in any other format? And what I'm hearing that you're saying in this moment is, well, there's so many ways.
There are so many ways. I mean, you can have an online course, you can have an online membership, you can have online group experiences, you can have in-person retreats. I think the big thing is, how do you make that thing scalable so that multiple people can opt into it at the same time, so that you're not stuck one-to-one with somebody? Mm-hmm. Because yes, you're absolutely right. I had lost my partner. I got the tired, exhausted, cranky, headachy version of you when you got home. That was so fun on the weekends, right? And so you're so right. When COVID happened, it was like I got you back because you weren't giving to everybody else, and we were able to play more and experience more. And now you only work in the treatment room because you want to. There's that contention, but it's not for the financial aspect.
Yes.
Because your rogue offers are actually what have created freedom for you, which is incredible, because now you only have to show up to calls, mm-hmm. which you do from home
or anywhere
in the world.
Like, I remember being at Sparkling Hill delivering calls in your container, actually inside of ROAR funnels.
That's right.
And so, but I want to, if I can rewind a little bit too, because I remember, our really close friend who was sitting on our couch just across from us right now, and you were explaining to her the importance of a funnel. Now, I don't know if a lot of practitioners know what a funnel is. Mm-hmm. And so how can you explain that so that they're like, oh my, I need that?
So in our podcast episode where we talk about the mission of SIT, mm-hmm. I had alluded to the fact that you fell into a funnel all those years ago. Okay, so it was 2015. I was struggling with chronic migraines that nobody could figure out. I was scared that I was going to go down the same path as my dad, who had died by suicide. He couldn't escape the pain. And you went on this mission looking on the internet for something that could help, something that could get to the root. And you had opted into a funnel. And this funnel sent you a book. And in that book, you learned about repressed emotions and the effects of repressed emotions on the body.
Yeah.
And you learned about the power and the biological function of forgiveness. And so in this funnel, which is essentially a system that is set up once, maybe you tweak it over time to optimize it, but it's essentially a systemized value journey that somebody goes on. So you gave this person your contact information, and in exchange for that, they sent you something really, really valuable. And from that thing, that valuable thing, you learned something that you hadn't known before that totally blew your mind. And from that, you took that information and you applied it on me, and then you changed my life with it. And then you decided to learn with that person. So you ended up paying them money.
Yeah, $10,000.
Yeah.
In the end, yes.
So that was automated reach. That was her rogue offer, automated reach. You fell into that funnel, and as a result, even though it was free on the front end, or funnels can also be like, it's a very low ticket item on the front end. So maybe it's like $17 or $97 or whatever. You fell into it, and then you got so much value that you were like, I want more.
Yeah.
And so for us, our funnel has been our live masterclass. Full transparency, by the way, if you are a practitioner and you are looking to resolve the psychosomatic, spiritual, or emotional root cause of your client's symptoms, head to learnsit.com/masterclass. And so we run this masterclass, and people come to this masterclass, they pay a very small amount. And by the end, we know that depending on if we're offering self-study SIT certification at the time or the cohort, between 8 and 18% of people are going to sign up and invest in the course.
Because we've provided so much value.
So much value for only $97 that they're like, okay, this information is so valuable. Many of them take it into their practice the following Monday. They see the value, or they've experienced it on themselves. Right? We have people who come to our masterclass who have resolved jaw tension, shoulder pain, wrist pain, leg pain, like whatever. They have their own experience, and then they want to invest more. They want more. What I love about funnels that I missed for the first many years of us running a company is that you can track the data. So when you're just aimlessly posting on social media, it works. We built a successful business that way, and it did work, but it had a limit. We hit an upper limit because without us just posting and posting and posting and posting, we also didn't really know what content was actually really resonating with people. We didn't know if we were going to fill out a class because we didn't really have like an email list or a funnel or like an automated process that we could actually track. Whereas now you and I know, and this is what I recommend for everybody, is to take this seriously, because this is the difference between having like a decent business to having like a consistent 6, or now for us 7-figure business, is can you track the data? Meaning, I now know that if 100 people sign up for our masterclass, at a very bare minimum, 8 of them will sign up for our course.
So you now have security.
I have security because I know I don't need to get people, I don't need to promote our class, like the SIT certification. I need to get people to the masterclass. I need to get people to the funnel because I know the data of the number of people that will go through. So now you can just scale this up. Okay, if we get 1,000 people to the masterclass, which is our next ceiling that we're trying to break through. If we get 1,000 people to the masterclass, that means 80 at minimum are going to enroll in the thing. And so I think this is so sexy, you guys, because especially as like healers and feelers and those of us who like don't want to look at the math and we don't really want to look at the numbers, if we can overcome the discomfort of looking at numbers, like for me, I didn't even finish high school. So like math made me so uncomfortable. Now somatically, when I look back at it, like math made me so uncomfortable. I felt so stupid. I remember feeling squirmy and uncomfortable in my body. And I had to overcome that as an adult, like as a business owner and an entrepreneur. And now I look at our spreadsheet and I'm fucking lit because I can see, like you said, it is the most secure feeling to know the exact numbers of how many people I need to reach in order to earn a specific amount. And I think that is honestly what is missing in a lot. And this isn't even just healers. This is like a lot of business owners and entrepreneurs in general, is we don't know our numbers.
Well, and a lot from what I've witnessed, especially inside of your containers and the coaching that comes with this, and even talking to, I'll say specifically myself, talking to practitioners, is there is the concept of, well, if I want more money, then I either need to raise my price for a single session or I need to work more hours.
Yes.
And so then there's still this trap of utilizing usually more energy to create more financial security.
Yes.
But there is another way, is what you're saying here. There are so many ways
100%.
you can deviate with systems like what you have.
Yes, 100%. And with creativity. Yeah.
Well, and that's where I wanted to talk next, because the way that ROAR funnels came to be, to me, is fascinating.
Okay, tell me.
So can you walk us through where this all just went boop?
No, I want to know why you think it's fascinating. You tell me.
Well, so
What's your perception?
Okay, so my perception is can I tell you the story?
I would love to hear it.
Okay, so I hear so often, even with my friend who was on our couch asking about funnels and being like, what? You guys can do this? And initially, though, the conversation started because I don't want to be this sleazy person who is marketing this thing on the internet. And so that's how the conversation started. And I like to mention how offers and programs and teachings can fall into that person's head. And then they're like, how do I get this out there? Right? So it's almost like it comes from nowhere and then just drops into the head as this idea. And where those ideas are so important, because so many ideas die inside of people because they never see the light of day. They never get formulated into a program. They never get talked about somewhere. And so even though there's people all over the world praying for what this one person could bring to fruition, it may never see the light of day because of so many factors inside of them. I don't know if I can do this. Who wants to hear from me? I don't even know how to put it together. Is there a system that can hold it? I don't know. And I think that's important, because when we go all the way back to the funnel that you talk about that I fell into, I was actively praying. I was actively praying to find something that would help you and your migraines, because I was scared you were going to choose the same thing that your dad did. So for me, it was like life or death. And that information was life and was so helpful in so many ways, because this person was willing to create a funnel.
Exactly. I'm thinking of Byron Katie right now. So that whole piece of it's sleazy to sell something on the internet. I'm like, okay, judge your, she goes, judge your neighbor, write it down, ask 4 questions, turn it around. And so I would take that thought. Okay, I would take that belief. It is sleazy to sell this thing on the internet. And I would say it is sleazy for you to withhold something that you know could change somebody's life because you're so fucking worried about yourself that you don't want to put it out there. Woo! Hey! Right?
Which
so
is
turn it around.
Yeah.
Turn it around. Is it really sleazy to offer something that you know in your bones is going to change someone's life if they apply it? Or is it sleazy for you to withhold that from the world because you're actually more scared about yourself? You're more worried about yourself. And that's okay. That is a phase and a process that we have to go through.
Absolutely.
Like
overcoming that.
It's huge. It is huge. And a lot of bringing forth your creation into the world is going to be the greatest personal development journey that you will ever go on, because it is so personal and because it opens you up to rejection and criticism. And we've been through that, and it is painful.
Yeah.
It's really hard. And when you work through that and you have a team alongside you to work through that, like you and I had each other.
Yeah.
But the mission with ROAR is also that you're in business for yourself, not by yourself. And so ROAR, like I was mentioning earlier, is You've got ROAR Funnels, which is the actual system that holds your business. It's $147 a month, banger of a deal. We're still on Kajabi, you guys, for some of our business because it's way too much to like detangle. So we've got most of our like automations, marketing, all of those systems are now built on ROAR. That's our platform.
Oh my gosh.
And we still have our course on Kajabi and our website because we have like hundreds of website pages. We have our course, like it would be a massive move to move it over. So
Which I think we will.
We eventually, yeah, but that is not a priority, right? And so, but just to put it into context, we pay $249 a month for Kajabi, and it can't even do close to what ROAR can do. It can't even do close to what ROAR can do. So anyways, ROAR Funnels is the platform itself. Head to roarfunnels.com if you need a
new platform.
A new platform. Okay, so then there's UpROAR. And UpROAR to me is like, a key put it really brilliantly last week. She's like, it's like ROAR Funnels is for the DIYers. Like you just want to get into the system and build these things yourself. You want to build your own funnel. You want to like do it. UpROAR is like the mastermind membership duo where you come into our container and we are your creative partners in business. Okay, so our mission as a team right now, currently, there's 5 of us. So there's myself, which is really the systems brain, the offer creation brain, the
customer journey,
client journey. How do you actually make sure that you set your thing up in a way that your clients have results? Like we have an incredible successful practitioner training because of little things that we have added in along the way that I think a lot of people don't consider. And so I love talking about that stuff. It's like, how do we turn this thing that's in your head into an actual thing that not only can people buy, but they're going to have a really good journey on it through it.
So cool. Yeah.
Okay. Then you've got Dr. V. I don't know if you've heard about Dr. V before, but she's kind of a big deal. What did I tell you yesterday? We were out for vermicelli and I looked you in the eyes and I said, you are a motherfucking baller. Like you just are. I'm like, who's this acupuncturist who's just like, you're just doing the thing. Like you just, like I said before, not a tech person, not a marketer. And you literally built your own funnel from start to finish, all the automations, all the emails. You had Keys help in the last
week.
In the last little bit, she helped write like 5 emails, I think. But aside from that, you launched, baby girl. Like you did the thing. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
And so Dr. V is very skilled at helping humans detangle the subconscious and somatic patterns that are keeping them stuck.
Oh yeah. So when people are like, oh, I'm such a procrastinator. Oh my gosh, I sabotage myself. I'm like, let's find out where that came from. And to smooth it out so that you're like, holy shit, I need to wake up tomorrow morning and I need to do this motherfucking thing.
Yeah. And you hold them accountable in really beautiful
Absolutely.
ways. Like you've had people do things live on calls and so to have you in their back pocket, but also you are actively launching your own things. You yourself have a membership. You yourself have a program that you have self-fulfilling programs and offers. I mean, you even have your spinal thing that I'm like, people just kind of buy it and we don't really like, I don't think it's made a ton of money, but
yeah, it's just there. Usually,
it's just there. It's
usually
just,
because of our other funnel, which is the masterclass one, people come and then buy these ones. So yeah.
Because I think you said, you were like, holy shit, this thing has made, I don't even remember how many thousands of dollars. And we were like, oh, cool.
That's fun.
So you yourself also have these offers that you've built out and a practice that you're holding. And so I think it's just really inspiring as well for you to coach people with the knowledge that you have both about the subconscious mind, the subsoma loop, the spiritual body, all of that. And then also you yourself have done the thing.
Yeah.
You yourself, like you guys, you have no idea how scared V used to be to speak publicly.
You'd have to stand beside me sometimes just out of the frame.
Yep. And it was wild. And like, so what you have, oh my gosh, how you've evolved within yourself, how lucky to have you as a coach alongside their journey.
Yeah.
Then we also have Dur, who is our systems brain, AI, automations, everything.
Somebody who loves technology.
She loves it. And she actually has done a ton of marketing and systems and automation for not only for our companies, but also for other seven-figure, they're from Canada, and they taught practitioners and people how to run retreats. And so she was like holding the entire back end of that company as well. So she brings so much knowledge and information around funnels, tech, AI, everything. And you have her in your back pocket as well inside of UpROAR. And then you have Key, who is our messaging and copywriting strategist. And she is amazing. And so she can take what your idea is and like how to actually package it into a way so that when you talk about it, it deeply resonates with people, because you have to know how to articulate what your offer is, your rogue offer, so that people actually want to buy it. And then we've got Ankit, where it's like, if you don't want to build any of your pages and whatever yourself, you could just delegate it out to him. And he's an amazing, phenomenal designer.
Yeah.
And so the mission of UpROAR is that you have this, it's like this dynamic team alongside of you who you can tap into while you are bringing forth your rogue offer and your automated reach out into the world. And then of course, with some done for you systems, like we have our proven masterclass funnel, we'll just load that into your account. But the big thing is like, you and I invested tens of thousands of dollars in these programs.
Oh my gosh, at this point, it's easily over $100,000. Like just tons of.
And a lot of that, it was really disappointing. And I honestly hear this a lot in the industry. It was like for a mindset shift, or it was for like not what we thought we were signing up for, but we still learned a lesson from it because that's the kind of people that we are. But the like deep support wasn't actually there. To be able to like strategize wasn't actually there. And so that's my mission, to do it differently. Just like we do it so differently with SIT, is how do we do it differently inside UpROAR as well and flip the business coaching industry on its head.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Yeah. And help, whether it's practitioners, healers, coaches, or creators, build their thing, get their roar out into the world.
Yeah. What's been your favorite part of this process? Because I can imagine it's come with so much to create all of it.
My favorite part in the whole process is honestly the inspired download that came through with it. You and I, it was the most random thing in the world. We were being normies. So we had just wrapped up the most intense year. Our business was wild. Like so much was happening. We had moved back to Edmonton. We got dialed in with our own funnel, with our masterclass and everything. And we were going and watching the playoffs with your dad. Yeah. This is a couple years ago now.
We would just drive over there at the end of the day, have some popcorn or some cheesies.
Or pizza.
Yeah, and just hang with my dad.
And watch the game.
Yeah.
And we never watched hockey together.
We never cared at all.
Like did not give a shit. But there was just something about it, about driving out there, being normies, being in that, like sharing that space with him, that is ironic because a lot of times we're going to, we want awarenesses and our next steps and the next thing, we want it to come through in like a coaching session or a healing session or a retreat or whatever. And for me, it literally came fucking flooding through while I was sitting on the couch drinking a, what's that? Phillips soda.
Watching the playoffs
in hockey. And it literally all came downloading in and I was like, whoa. And then but there was no name with it. And I will say, I have had something like in the background created called Practitioner Gone Rogue for a very, very long time, but it just was not the time. It was not the time to bring it forth. So anyways, this download comes through. It's kind of like an iteration of that. It just felt really strong. And then we were driving home, and usually I drive, but that night for some reason you drove. And so I was in the passenger seat And we're going down, and I look to the right and I see a physio clinic called ROAR. And it was literally like the experience that I had sitting on the couch watching the playoffs, and this name merged and collided and exploded. And I just heard Rogue offers automated reach in my head. And I was like, that's it. It's just so resonant. And for me, like on a much deeper level, my personal mission is to live a life that my 5-year-old self reveres and that my future self is proud of. And the reason that ROAR, when it came through, is I have always been obsessed with lions. I've always been obsessed with Africa. And when I was 5 and completely out of control in a home that was very tumultuous, I would come home and watch Lion King every day. And that was my safe place. I was obsessed with the Lion King. And so when this name and this frequency and this resonance, like it was like it all came through and it all just made so much sense. Everything that I've learned in our business, our funnel, just all of it, it just, bam, it was just there. And so on the back of my shirt that I'm wearing right now, it says, Hakuna Matata, my funnel is converting. Because I did not have choice when I was that little girl. And I remember being pulled from my home and taken to go live in Calgary. And all of my clothes were left behind. All of my teddies were left behind. The only thing that I grabbed was, we were literally driving down the alley. My dad had been arrested that night. He was allowed to go under the condition that he would take my brother and I to Calgary to go live with my mom. And that was the last time I lived with him. And we're driving down the alley and I just started screaming like, stop, I need Cebu. And so he backs up to the house, and Cebu was my bird, my budgie bird. I didn't give a shit about my clothes. I didn't care about my teddies. I didn't care about anything. I wanted my bird. And animals have always just been so my safe place, my place. So I got Cebu. I'm taken to a different city, and my life literally starts over with my mom, and we're just plunked there. And I remember going to Value Village to get new clothes. And even all these years later, I cannot stand, like, you and your mom love going to Value Village.
Oh, yeah. We are little scavengers. We love it.
No, like going in there, I tried to go with you one time, and hearing the screech of the hangers, I'm
and
just
the
like,
smell
ugh. And yeah, the smell, like, get me out of there. But you want to talk somatic and subconscious imprints, like, that's locked in there too. So at that time, I didn't have choice. And it was ironic because my brother and I desperately wanted to go live with my mom. We would ask her every time she would drop us off, please don't make us go back there. Please don't make us go back. And then here we are now being taken, not because of choice, but because of violence that happened in the house. And now I think all those years later, as I look back on my journey of like choosing, which is like always for me, it has always had to be about freedom and choice. If I do not have freedom and choice, like, get me out of here. And I think that has created brilliance because, number one, I'm obviously incredibly adaptable, but number two, very creative. And then number three, because as a result of that deep internal motivator of freedom and choice, Hakuna Matata, when your funnel is converting, that's what you have. And
no
so
worries.
You have no worries for the rest of your days. And this is what I mean, you guys, about the data piece is like, yeah, financially, you and I have been really intensely stressed at times because we've scaled our team and increased our overhead, and that shit is stressful. Like, the weight of carrying tens of thousands of dollars a month to pay other people who are never gonna hold it and own the outcomes and responsibility as much as we do, that is stressful. And I literally know that we will never struggle again. We will never be in a moment where we can't just turn our funnel on and generate income. So Hakuna Matata, my funnel is converting. I don't have to, like, it's like I'm not a victim. I think that's the big thing.
You're free.
Free. So when you ask about my favorite part, it's that I found a way to take all of these aspects of the pieces of my personality that got me kicked out of high school, the pieces of my personality that have essentially made me unemployable, the pieces of my personality that do not fit within the confines of most of society. And I have found a way to turn it into something that not only can serve people, but also gives me that freedom and that choice. And to see it come together with such flawless energy, roar. I'm like, what? That's been my favorite. It's the creative part. I really love starting brands. It's very fun.
And it's incredibly inspiring to watch, like to know where you came from and to know your story of what it was like for you to grow up. And I can imagine, well, I mean, I see other individuals who have similar stories who think that they just don't belong and they won't amount to something. And your willingness to just completely deviate from what's standard, normal, or expected, to be the anomaly and be like, hold my kombucha, watch me do it. Like, for you to get to that point and not settle is so inspiring. And I love asking you questions about it, because I know there's so many other people out there who think, well, my skill set is useless. It doesn't come with a degree. It doesn't come with a diploma. It doesn't come with this education. And you're here sitting here telling me that you can 100% turn something on, generate financial security, help hundreds, if not thousands of people find levels of liberation that they didn't know and freedom that they didn't know was possible. That's really inspiring. And I know that had you not chosen to let go of whatever that life was, I wonder if it would have destroyed you. Which brings me to wanting to ask you about that quote that stops me in my tracks every time that you mention it. It's a Thomas quote.
Yeah, the Gospel of Thomas. If you do not bring forth what is within you will destroy you. And if you do bring forth what is within you will save you. And that has been a intense checkpoint for me, especially lately, because being an entrepreneur and creating something and bringing it forward into the world, it is very challenging in many different ways. And there are times, even now, even with the success that you and I have had together in both of our companies, there are times where I have been like, I'm not really sure of the direction. And just recently I had quite a large realization about ROAR, and that's been amazing. But it's that whole piece of like, if I don't bring this forth, this thing that God so graciously downloaded to me in the most serendipitous, beautiful ways, in the ways that are such an expression of like all the personality aspects and talents and everything that he gifted me, is it going to destroy me? Because it's, to me, the opposite of expression is depression. And when I am in like full expression, like game over. It's the best. It's the best feeling. That is all I want.
Yeah.
And if we do not bring that forth, then we are literally depressing and suppressing ourselves. So I've been grappling with that quote recently of what it means to me. But yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
And it's so beautiful to watch you as an example of all these funnels that you have created and the offers that you have created. And then also knowing that you're like, okay, babe, see ya. It's 9:45. I got to go play pickleball with my friends on a Friday morning, because you have these systems in place that allows you to go out and live your life in the middle of the day if you want to. And it's just such a beautiful nod that here you are living your life to the beat of, I want to love my 5-year-old self and live a life that she would be like, yay, good job.
Yeah,
let's
like,
go
this
play.
This is so fun.
You know, and that's such a beautiful way to look at it, and a creative way to look at it, which I think is, to me, in observation, the whole purpose of this process. How can we be so creative, help a shit ton of people, and create a really sustainable life out of it?
Yeah, amen to that. You know, I want to talk to that because I saw a post last week that it broke my heart, but I understand that she's on the journey that she's on. There's someone who had built a successful online business, or it looked successful on the outside, and on paper it was financially sustaining her. And she decided to shut it down and go back to traditional employment. And she made a post that said something along the lines of, this whole world, and she was referring to the digital online space, is fake. And I recommend that you get outside and you touch grass and you put your feet in water and you watch a sunset and you hang out with your friends and she's like listing all of the things that I can only do because I have had an online business. And then she ended it by saying, building an online business was cool, but living in the real world is cooler. And I thought, this is so fascinating and like sad to read, even though I totally trust she's on whatever journey she's on. But what she's done is she has associated her lack of standards that she has with her phone, the lack of maybe what some people would call boundaries with her phone, with her devices, with checking in on clients, with, instead of having her online business build a life that allowed her to do all of those things, what I read within that post was, you have codependency with your phone and with the results of your clients and with getting clients. Like, you don't have systems built. You don't have that automated reach. You didn't build the thing to take care of you. And so therefore it's taking from you, but it's not the thing that's taking from you. It's you that's taking from you.
Whereas you had literally just come back from an experience where so many systems were at place that you were actively making money. It was my funnel, but it was still within your company.
Yeah.
You're actively generating income
And
while
living
you
in the real world.
while you were in a Land Rover screaming and laughing and seeing these animals that you had always been dreaming of seeing.
And I turned my phone off for 21 days. I think I turned it on one time. I went on one Zoom call in somebody else's container that I really wanted to join. So that was about an hour. And then I think at the airport, between places you and I were going, I turned it on. But I did not look at email. I didn't look at ClickUp. I didn't look at anything because I didn't have to, because I have worked for so long to build these systems and put it in place. And so, yes, when I read that, I'm like, no, don't hate the game, fix the player. Fix the player. Because I do remember a time where, and even while we were in Africa, that was one of the things I had brought up, is addiction to the stimulus of the phone and devices, and it will suck from you.
Totally.
But I remember a time where I was so obsessed that I could not check the company email at nighttime. And I love having a head of client care. Shout out to Mama Kay, because putting somebody in that role allowed me to finally like close that. But there was something so deeply within me that was always so afraid that people were going to be mad. They were going to be disappointed. Something bad was going to happen. And so that kept me constantly checking the email, constantly checking in. And therefore I would feel burnt out. But it wasn't the business that was the problem. It was the fact that I was so obsessive compulsive about checking the email that was the problem.
Wow.
So I think, the big thing is, how do we build a business that gives to us that ability of all of the things that she's talking about? Because you and I, we drink our coffee in the morning so slow, and I love it.
Yeah.
We cook the most nutritious breakfast every day. We watch the sunrise. I go play pickleball with my friends in the middle of the day. And
I take my clubs to the driving range in the middle of the day to just blow off some steam.
Yeah. And we still work, and we work hard, and we it's not about not working, but it's outside of work. Do you have the space to put your feet in grass? Or, in the middle of the day, sometimes you and I we'll run outside, we'll put our feet in the grass, we'll have a kombucha. And so again, it broke my heart reading that from her, because I'm like, you need
just
ROAR.
needed a better system.
Yeah, you need a better system, and also within yourself.
Yeah.
And so it's really, yeah, it's,
which is a beautiful declaration of what you've created and seeing what your container can do for people, because it's there's the system, and then there's also, like you're talking about, a better internal system, which is something that your team really offers as well, is to help create that.
exactly. That's critical. It's critical. Otherwise it will take you out. And I will say, I mean, I remember as a heavy equipment operator, I couldn't put my feet in grass. I couldn't watch actually I was forced to watch the sunrise every day because I was at work already. But you had to ask for permission to take time off. Like, so I don't understand. I'm like, you guys, your business, your digital business can help you experience the real world so much more. And you got to come back and remember, like, what are you doing it for? Yeah. So the mission of ROAR is really, my internal motivator is freedom and choice. And that comes through, to me, having the financial ability to turn a funnel on that's going to also help humanity is incredible. And then my external motivator is, I want to help, in the next year, I want to help 100 people cross 6 figures in their business while helping them build the thing that is going to give them that freedom. And then it's like, okay, now how do we take it from 100 to 1,000? How do we take it from 1,000 to 10,000? And it's like the way that we systemize SIT, I want to systemize our ROAR to revenue launch system. Amazing. Which is a 5-step process that we walk you through, whether you're a practitioner, facilitator, creator. And how do we systemize that so that we know the same results that SIT practitioners get when they go through our program, that our clients will get going through UpROAR, so that we know that if you follow this, just in the same way, if you follow the SIT process, you're going to get these results with your clients. If you follow this system inside of UpROAR, you are going to build a 6-figure business. So that's my external mission.
Incredible.
So if you want to be a part of it, head to roarfunnels.com. You can get a 30-day trial actually for the platform itself. And then you can apply to join UpROAR if you want us to be your creative partners in starting and scaling your digital business. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you in another episode.
If you got value from this episode, share it with a fellow renegade and make sure to subscribe. Leave a review for your chance to win some swag and a shout out on the podcast. And for the episode show notes, head to therenegadepodcast.com. We'll see you on the next episode.